What's going on, y'all? The Dondo Show. Dondo Show. Fireworks. Good talking. A lot of shit talking. Oh, yes. A lot of shit talking. What did we learn this past week? Man, good week of football. We'll start with college football. It's a good week of football last week. Everybody talked about the Georgia Kentucky game. I kind of knew Kentucky was not ready for Georgia. Kentucky plays a gritty kind of football, and Georgia just spread them out and kind of did what I thought they would do with them. But, Georgia now sitting at 6-0, getting to the meat of their schedule. Good luck beating them. I don't think they got Alabama on their schedule. I don't see no one challenging them to maybe the SEC championship, which the SEC West is very interesting. Not sure who's gonna win the West. You know, this year. Michigan, what was it? The Brown Jug. They won the Brown Jug. Minnesota was supposed to have been a team. Like they were supposed to be, decent. They're sitting at 3-3 right now. Um, I don't know. It's crazy. Sitting at 3-3. Texas did not come to play. But I will say this: no shade at all. That money y'all spent on that safety, that freshman, money well spent. That kid is pretty damn good. For him to be fresh out of high school, stepping on in a game like that and make the plays he made, putting his body on the line. I seen one time it looked like he had got a concussion. I hope he's okay. But yeah, I'm not ready to say the defense is back yet because I think Texas missed out on some opportunities to kind of get, in the 40s. But overall, good win for y'all. Happy for y'all. Schedule is real soft down the road. Might can get to 10 wins. I'm not sure. Y'all always drop one y'all shouldn't have. Maryland game was good for a little bit. I watched quite a bit of that game. Then Ohio State pulled away. Ohio State's looking like a team that wants to go to the college football playoff. I'm not sure if they got enough to beat Michigan. We shall see. Florida State was close. They kind of let Virginia Tech come back a little bit, then they finished them on off. Uh, Florida State's just kind of going through the motions. Challenge for the next few weeks. Um, USC and Arizona, man. Golly, that game. I fell asleep in that game. I woke back up and that game was still on. I'm like, damn, this is what double, triple overtime. It's crazy. Tap in with me. I know y'all mad at me. Tap in with me. I know y'all mad at me. I talked a lot of shit to y'all. Talked to yeah, so yeah. Tap in with me. Mm. Louisville, big victory. Big victory over Notre Dame. Notre Dame's had probably Not seen of anybody Notre Dame. That Notre Dame schedule is really, really tough, and I think they got USC this week. I think that's the game. Our game of the week is USC and Notre Dame. I think it is. Or is it next week? Might be next week. Oh, it's this week. Yeah, USC Notre Dame. Gonna be a good one. Bama kind of got sloppy at the end. They ended up closing out Texas A&M. It was a pretty good game. Probably one of the better games I've seen this weekend. Um, Bama's quarterback, he's starting to feel it now. He's starting to feel it now. Shouts out to all my Bama fans. He's starting to feel it. Maybe he can put some wins together. You know, maybe they can win the SEC. Who knows? I know when you got a mobile quarterback and they start to connect with the wide receivers, it gets scary. It gets very spooky. Washington, man, in the SEC, I mean in the Pac-12, it seems like every week it's a big time matchup. And UCLA have fell out the rankings. They actually weren't ranked this past week, but they beat Washington State. It was Washington State's first loss. Um, you know, Pac-12 to me right now, they're the hottest conference, best conference right now. I can't believe they're breaking up. North Carolina and Syracuse, I thought that would have been a better game. North Carolina didn't show no signs of looking ahead to the big matchup next week. May looking very strong as a quarterback. Oregon State, 52-40 shootout with Cal. DJ, the quarterback from Clemson, he's still doing his thing. 275 yards, 5 touchdowns. He might be low key in a dark horse in the Heisman right now. Ole Miss Arkansas was a very good game. Ole Miss by a touchdown. Miami just broke my heart, man. Like it was so crazy because I just knew they were going to down it, so I left out of the front room and I came in here and the TV froze with the dude wide open. Like, how the fuck did that happen? Hopefully, we'll bounce back. We dropped to 25. We 4-1, 0-1 in the ACC. All bad for us right now, but we'll get there. LSU won a great game against Missouri, giving Missouri their first loss. LSU was a team that's hard to kind of figure out because they have top five talent, but you never know what you're gonna get with them. You know, um, Fresno State, Wyoming beating Fresno State. Wyoming's at 5-1 now. Right now, I think Wyoming's only losses to somebody ranked high. I can't think of who beat Wyoming. Was it Texas? Somebody good beat Wyoming. Um, but yeah, those are the top 25 scores. It was a lot of good games this past weekend. Too many to name. I try to watch as many of them as I can because I love football. Virginia getting their first win this past weekend. I mean, NC State and Marshall had a battle. Uh, Clemson barely beating Wake Forest. Wake Forest is bloody you up a little bit. Man, there was some games this past weekend in college football. Florida getting a gimme. Kansas. I would not want to play Kansas down the stretch because you know they beat up on UCF. I thought UCF was going to be a little better coming into the Big 12, but they said an 0-3 in the Big 12. Maybe they wasn't ready for a big conference. Maybe they wasn't ready. Arizona State's played everybody pretty tough. They won in 5, but they're pretty. Don't go in there sleeping on Arizona State. Texas Tech with a big victory over Baylor. I don't know what happened to Baylor, man. Baylor was supposed to have been better than this, I thought. Um, Iowa State, TCU, TCU. I mean, it's just crazy how the Big 12 ain't what we thought it was gonna be. Um, but enough about college football. We'll get to this weekend's games. There's a few games on right now. Um, but the NFL. Let's get to week 5 of the NFL games, man. Um, it was kind of hard to watch games during the day because everybody was waiting for the call. Um, so during the day, it was hard to like kind of stay focused on the games. But I caught a few pretty good games uh, during the day. The Bears, last Thursday the Bears showed out, man. If they get that DJ Moore back going, they could be scary. I mean, they said they 1-4. They could easily be.
And it's taken a little bit of time when you're not.
They could easily be 3-2. Then you got, the Bills lost one to the Jaguars. The Jaguars always seem to have the Bills number, and that I think. Texans still playing tough. They got beat by 2 points by the Falcons, but the Texans have improved a lot. I really like I really like their quarterback. I think he might be the pick of the draft. Um, you know, Colts getting the victory over the Titans. That AFC North is wide open. Or is that the South? I think that might be the South. Um, Dolphins and the Giants. Dolphins just bounced back from that big loss they had last week. Saints, man, the Patriots. Good Lord, Patriots. Jesus Lord. Golly. Saints just. Saints just yeah. That zero. Steelers, Ravens. I mean, that's a big victory for the Steelers. I think the Steelers are sitting at the top of that division now. 3-2. Good job. The Steelers just. I mean, I thought the Steelers were bad, but after seeing what the 49ers did to the Cowboys, too, maybe the Steelers aren't that bad. Maybe the 49ers are really that good. Um, the Bengals, you never know what you're going to get with the Cardinals. One week they're battling, one week they're hard to gauge. Um, I like the Rams, though. The Rams got a lot of young players. They rebuilt. They're trying to rebuild. I think the Rams can maybe sneak in the playoffs at 9-8 or 10-7 or something like that. Maybe they got a pretty good team. They make it interesting every week. The Jets beating the Broncos sitting at 1-4, and they playing the Chiefs tonight. And look like the Chiefs is driving. Kelsey just caught a pass. Um, and of course, the Chiefs beat the Vikings. The Vikings sitting at 1-4. And let's get to that heavyweight matchup, man. 49ers just put their foot in somebody's ass, bro. They just rubbed their dick across their face, across somebody's face, man. It was worse than what the score said. To be honest with you, because that was supposed to be two playoff teams fighting for the supremacy in the NFL, and it looked like one extremely powerful NFC team that looks like, I mean, can the Eagles play? I mean, y'all gonna send the Eagles or the Chiefs or somebody? Like, It don't look like there's a team that can stay in because it starts on the defensive side. The defense makes you one dimensional because they ain't gonna let you run the ball, and you gonna have to pass it. Everybody's like, Dak threw 3 interceptions. It was gonna happen. You can't run the ball against the 49ers. I haven't seen nobody consistently run the ball on the 49ers in the last 5 years. Go look at the stats. I don't know. I don't know if they've given up a 100-yard rusher in 5 years. Tell me who they have. Who's had 100 yards on the 49ers? Um, so when they make you one dimensional and Warner's out there calling and Greenlaw, them two guys are amazing at linebacker. They're two of the best linebackers sets that I've seen ever. That's two of them. That they cover the field. You don't have to take them out on third. They every down linebackers cover. They cover just as well. They pass rush. They make tackles in the open field. They are what makes that defense. I know it's both coming off the edge, and we just got Randy Gregory. I mean, things are gonna start looking up and up. But man, I'm here to tell you that defense is a championship defense. That's the best defense in the NFL. There isn't a better defense in the NFL. Um, so yeah, I didn't really watch too much of that Packers Raiders game. Um, you know, and coming up this week 6. Let's see what games we got. Week 6. Of course, the Broncos and Chiefs is playing tonight. You got Ravens and the Titans. Another tough one. Another drag out. Commanders and the Falcons. Vikings and the Bears. Somebody's gonna be 2-4 and feel like their season is still going. Um, Bengals and the Seahawks. Bengals starting to get going. Joe Burrow starting to see his guys. A wide receiver. I can slip my name right now. He had almost 200 yards receiving. 49ers at the Browns. That should be, 40. Hopefully the 49ers don't take them for granted and go in there but the Browns play a slow, grounded out defense. It could be interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if the Browns don't make that interesting. Maybe 49ers by 10. Texans at the Saints. That's a good one. That's tough to call. I would take the Texans at home. Um, Jaguars, Colts, another one. Both 3-2 teams hungry. Let's hope the Jaguars take that next step. They made the playoffs this past year and got beat. But let's see if they can beat the Colts and take control of that division and start winning some games. The Dolphins and playing the Panthers. I mean, it is what it is. Raiders at the Patriots. I'm gonna say this: if Mac Jones don't win this week, he won't be starting again. I don't know why the Patriots went after Mac Jones. He was the third team quarterback on Alabama. He wasn't the starter. He didn't start until everybody went to the league and left. Uh, Buccaneers and the Lions, 4-1, 3-1. That's a good matchup. Um, Cardinals and the Rams, division matchup. Eagles and the Jets. Now that's very interesting. Eagles go to the Jets. I'm gonna watch that game. I want to see what Robert Salo, I always say his name right. He's a 49er. But I want to see what he does, how he line, because the 49ers are going to take that film. They're going to take that film and do what worked and use what worked. Salah is one of the great defensive minds. Probably one of, if not the best, one of the top 3 in the league. Um, Bills and the Giants. Cowboys and the Chargers. Sunday night, Cowboys got another Sunday night game on the West Coast. Oh man, I wonder if they stayed on the West Coast or if they came back to Dallas. Because a lot of times when West Coast teams play on the East Coast and they have a two games or something like that, most of those West Coast teams will stay on the East Coast for that time. And then you got the Steelers and the Packers with buys. Pretty interesting week. I don't see no big time firepower. Let's get to the college games. We got Georgia, Vanderbilt, Florida State, Syracuse, Ohio State, Purdue. The big matchup, Oregon and Washington at 2:30. Oregon and I like Oregon. I like both of those quarterbacks. So at 2:30, I'm gonna be locked in the ABC at 2:30. Kansas and Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State's coming off a huge victory against Kansas State. Maybe they salvage they see. Gundy can coach. I don't care what y'all say. Gundy can coach. If he had top tier talent, it ain't no telling how good Oklahoma State would be. I'm not saying they don't have, but they don't have the 4 and 5 stars like y'all try to treat them like they do. Let's just be for real. He develops talent at a high clip, a very high clip. You got Tennessee and Texas A&M. That's gonna be a good one, real good one. You know, Maryland, Illinois. That's a good game. You know, it's some teams fighting for a good bowl game. South Carolina and Florida. That's gonna be a good game. Um, you know, it's hard to say. Like Louisville and Pittsburgh. Upset alert this week. Going to Pittsburgh is different. Going to Pittsburgh is different. I'm gonna put them on upset alert this week, and then we got LSU and Auburn. That's in K-State and Texas Tech. That's a good football. Really good college football this week. Then we get to the primetime matchups. We got Notre Dame and USC on NBC. And then we got North Carolina and Miami. North Carolina and Miami. 7:30. ABC. Prime time. Pay them bills, Miami. Pay them bills for ABC. UCLA and Oregon State. That's that's a game on Fox. Fox has had some really good games on Fox. Right now, I think Fox. Besides, if you take away the late games, Fox has had some real good games. If you take away what ABC does with the late games, but Fox has had some really good games this year. And they got UCLA and Oregon State, a ranked matchup. It's gonna be a good one. Duke and NC State's gonna be that's gonna be a good game. Tune in. It's always good to see y'all, hear from y'all. I know y'all mad at me, but things is gonna get better. They gonna get worse before they get better, but they gonna get better. Y'all take care. It's good talking to y'all. Dondo Show. You want to be a guest on the Dondo Show? Holla at me. We'll hook that up. Any sponsors want to get at me? Holla at me. I got a few that's already want to sponsor, so just holla at me. It's the Dondo Show. Talk to you soon.